Okay, so welcome to my greenhouse build video, number 1. My name is John. I've been encouraged to put this on YouTube, so that's what I'm trying to do. I live in southern New Hampshire and been growing a hydroponic garden inside and outside for a couple of years, 2 or 3, and last year I had a lot of trouble with pests, worms, and critters and such, and so this year I decided I wanted to bring it inside all year long, but I don't want to pay for the electricity of lights all year, so I thought I'd try to build a greenhouse. So this is obviously the location where it's going to go. I've cut out so far I've removed where the old patio was. Simply removed the patio bricks and cut out all of the siding where the structure will attach to the house. And I've just got it piled up here for now. But this shows you roughly the size of the building. It's going to be 12 by 12, so it'll come out to I don't know if you can see the lines on the ground there, here. So it's roughly a 12 by 12 square simply attached to the building. I'll have a door on the outside as well as on the inside. And I'm going to cover it with double wall polycarbonate panels. Glass is very expensive and doesn't offer any kind of insulation, at least not much. So I'm going to go with the double wall plastic polycarbonate stuff so I can grow at least some vegetables in the wintertime. The initial plan is to have 3 sets of grow beds, one along the 2 outer walls left and right, and one in the middle. Buried in the ground in the middle, below the middle grow bed, will be 2 IBC tanks that I picked up locally. I've simply cut the tops off of them to provide full access and clean them out. They had some kind of soap base, something for making shampoo, I'm told. But they're food grade and they're all cleaned out, ready to go. I'll simply bury them in the ground and surround them with insulation, about 2-inch thick rigid foam insulation around the perimeter to basically make a box that these will sit in. The idea being that hopefully it'll hold in some of the heat of the water. It'll be open on the bottom, so they'll be sitting on the earth. And that will give me some benefit because, you know, the ground will be always approximately 53 degrees at, 4 feet depth. So I'll be able to take advantage of that and keep it at a minimum of 53 degrees or so. Sorry about the wind. But I'm going to insulate the sides because, in addition to simply building the greenhouse and burying these tanks, I plan to install a subterranean heating and cooling system, which is basically just a bunch of irrigation pipes buried in the ground below the building, below the room, the greenhouse, and air is pumped in at one end. If it's hot out, if you put warm air in, it warms up the ground comes out the other side a little bit cooler. When it's cool out, you pump cool air down into the ground warms it up, and it comes out a little bit warmer. Very simple. But in order to install that, I need to basically dig out this 4x4, 12x12 area down to a depth of 4 feet, lay in my pipes and my foundation. I'm using columns, concrete columns, that have to go down to 4 feet for the frost line. So I'm going to dig out the entire 12x12 area down to 4 feet, lay in my pipes, my sonotubes and such, and put the same earth back in the same spot, leaving, of course, a roughly 4x8 hole for my IBC tanks to go into. The reason I'm insulating the IBC tanks from the earth is because I don't want my tanks, the water in my IBC tanks, to rob the heat that I plan to use to heat this greenhouse in the winter. So the way that the subterranean heating and cooling system works is you slowly heat up the earth over the course of several months, all through the summer, and then when it starts to get cold, that you can release or return that heat very slowly, and heat the space for, hopefully a couple of months anyway. So I want to retain as much of that heat as possible, and obviously the entire perimeter will be lined with rigid insulation as well. So this box will be like a big square donut, will be insulated from the outside as well as the inside to hold heat for me. I don't have a whole lot to say at the moment. I've got a good start so far, and I plan to rent a machine to help me dig the holes in about a week, and I'll probably do an update at that time. So comment if you're interested, and we'll talk a little more next time. I thought I might give a quick tour of my current hydroponics setup in the basement. I just set this up recently, 3 weeks ago, maybe 4, to get some things started, so that when the greenhouse is done in a month from now, I'll have plants ready to go. Unfortunately, I think I'm going to run out of room before I get there. Because it's growing rather quickly. So it's very simple. We've got a 3x3 by, 6 or 7 or 8 inch depth standard tub. Got a 40-50 gallon tank with nothing but water and nutrient, and it's a simple flood and drain system. So it floods about 6 times a day, 4 times a day at this point. And I've got a bunch of 3-foot T5s, 10 in total, I believe. 2 fixtures, and this is the result. We've got I've got what amounts to a not really a floating raft type system, but these net cups just sort of hang over the water, and the water comes up to about this point, about here, when it floods. And everything is obviously doing quite well. Most of these plants are only a few weeks old. I've got some romaine lettuce here, and here. A couple of iceberg. I think this is butter crunch or something, and some other, various salad greens. A couple more romaine. These I started from seed right in the pot about, I don't know, a week and a half, 2 weeks at most. There's a small basil that suddenly isn't doing very well. It's got these burnt tips here. It's been in the same position, under the same light for 3 or 4 weeks now, and this is very new, so I'm not sure what's going on there. I did just order some chelated iron. Well, I don't really think that's an iron problem, but it's possible. There's a tomato, that's a cherry tomato back there, and a smaller one just to the left of it that you can't see because it's buried by the this other thing I think is a zucchini. This is I think it's a zucchini. This is an 8-ball zucchini here. It's got all kinds of flowers and it's fruiting nicely. There's a zucchini there. Back in the back here, don't know if you can see, there's a couple of summer squash. The plant to the right of it is butternut squash, and then there's, I think, 3 different cucumbers over here on the left. The one that's growing the most viney is an Armenian cucumber, which apparently grows long and skinny and curls a lot. I haven't tried it before. This is the first year, so we'll see how that turns out. But this is it. It's packed in here quite tightly, and everything is growing quite well. You got nice dark color leaves, lots of vines, lots of little things reaching out, lots of flowers, lots of new leaves everywhere. Everything seems pretty happy. I just hope I can get the greenhouse done before things get too crazy and start to go downhill. Things shade things too much, and they become a problem for each other. So that's a quick tour of what we're doing right now. Some of this lettuce will start to come out of here for dinner pretty soon, and so far the things I've tried are taste pretty great. So that's it. Again, I'll update hopefully in about a week, and if anybody's interested, go ahead and comment or subscribe or however it works, and a little more next time. Bye bye.